tactically sure, isn't she?
Absolutely. She's going to be leading that back line, making sure that they're communicating constantly, you know, to assess where she is on the pitch, and defending the box might be really crucial for them today.
Well, Anita, Farah, thank you both very much. We'll have you back with us.
To get their first points last season, are currently rubbing shoulders with the elite. Unbeaten so far in all competitions, and only behind today's opponents, Manchester City, on goal difference. It's been a good start to the season for the visitors. Heyman and Goodwin dropping to the bench. Lauren Hemp is back on the bench for Manchester. Flying high in the WSL. A win for either team this evening would see them finish the day top of the table. As Manchester City get us underway, just how impressed have you been?
Forward, but you know, they just want to get the points on early doors, but it's not just points and a nick and a grab. It's been impressive performances too. They've had to come back as well against Bristol, but yeah, really impressed.
That's what they're looking to build here early on. O'Brien's delivery cleared away by Hasegawa. Morgan will complete that.
When your fellow teammates vote for you.
Here is Hasegawa for Manchester City.
Keepers, because you want to keep solid, you want to have that partnership and build up the relationship.
Here come Manchester City. Look at the white shirts streaming forwards. Leipzig dived. To be sure, there was a deflection on the way through from the effort from
ball up. You know, she's really good at dribbling the ball.
Engeldahl's delivery over the head of almost everybody will come to Hasegawa. Loops it back in, and the header is just over the bar.
Now there, line that up. Thought she's going to go with her left foot top bins there, but just puts it back into a dangerous area here. Jill Ward, you know how much of a threat she is. Played against Jill Ward every time we played against each other. She'd come in, the aerial challenges that we used to have. She just leans over. She'll be disappointed.
By Whelan, dispossessed by Rord. Engeldahl. Hasegawa. Real high press from... And it's not just about the results they've got, it's about the way they're playing. Leicester City side, of course, in game you're going to adapt to your opponent, but they don't want to compromise. And even though they went in level at half-time against Manchester United, he wasn't happy with the way they played. He made the triple change at half-time, wanted to see them be more attacked. Alexander. Hasegawa. Again, does have time to pick the pass there, Gilly, and will break for Manchester City. Here is Rord, and look at the space on this right-hand side. It's Chloe Kelly for Manchester City. It's spilled by Janina Leipzig, and Manchester City take the lead. Chloe Kelly on the score sheet again, scoring early on as she did against Chelsea. But you can tell by the expression on the face of Janina Leipzig that she knows she should have done better with that. To no avail, though, for Leicester. Manchester City capitalise, they lead by 1-0.
I've also just been singing.
Manchester City capitalise, they lead by 1-0.
I've also just been singing what they do defensively, but look at the back line there. They're all over the place. The space has opened up for Jill Ward there. Nevin's got no chance, really, because she has to go into Ward. She ain't going to be able to get over to Clutter. So unorganised, the space opened up. Jill Ward, big smile on her face to see that space for her to drive into.
Simply too easy for Manchester City. And Leicester are punished, and they might be punished again.
You have to assess the danger. The space in behind is what's been exploited. She doesn't need to necessarily step in there, allow the
option. Shaw might go all the way, still going. Tierney did enough to get across. Thibault.
Shaw should pull the trigger a lot earlier than she does. Obviously, you've got Chloe Kelly to her right. Here, pull it there. Don't take that.
Congested 6-yard box, and this time Leipzig is having to be careful as Leicester comes down the other end. But here we see this chance again, and it's Khadija Shaw.
Yeah, it's a comfortable catch though, and it's important for Leipzig to get her hands on that.
Good closing down by Peterman. That's the Garrett pulling the ball away under that pressure. And here you go, Leicester. Whelan's in there, cleared away by Greenwood. Rantala. Hasegawa is there for Manchester City, reading the players. She does so well. Momentum away from Manchester City. Hasegawa. Shaw. Tussling with Howard, and she's fed Kelly. And the flag stays down, and that's a good save by Leipzig, making amends for the earlier error.
They're pushing so high up, and they're sort of asking the two centre midfielders to really help them out, but all over the place defensively. Chloe Kelly, you're asking should she do better there? It's a great save from Leipzig, but yeah, defensively I'm not too sure about this shape. Sometimes it might not necessarily be just the formation, but it's the responsibilities and the people that you're asking to.
Up against Esme Morgan, here goes Hannah Kane. Whelan excellently challenged by Jill Roord. That's fabulous defensive work from the midfielder. Here goes Khadija Shaw, test of that knock. Is she fully shaking it off? Will she slide it through to a teammate? Yes, she will. It's Mary Fowler, and flag is up. Not for the first time in this match against Fowler, and that's a chance squandered really for Manchester City. But again, Gilly, so much space on.
I mean, to be fair, she's onside. I mean, she's clearly onside. You're asking, could she release it a little bit better? Could she put it in front of?
Here goes Shaw again as Manchester City look to get in behind. Look at the players for. Here's Chloe Kelly. Interception with to Hannah Kane. And now Peterman. Good save, Keating. And cleared away by Alex Greenwood.
With a turnover, and obviously having the higher press, it means that they've got bodies there. But it's a great save from Keating. Okay, you could argue, is it straight at her? But she's made a big save there.
Manchester City defence, who are getting back belatedly. Here is Shaw. Nicely worked by the visitors to Fowler. That will give Leicester City some encouragement.
Yeah, and that is the encouragement that you can take few chances, which if you put that away, it's 1-1, it's a different game, but it's defensively that worries me.
Here goes Rantala, pursued by Roord, still going. We were talking about earlier with Willie Kirk, if they have a defined idea of how they want to play Leicester, even if in some ways it's not working defensively, how much...
Taylor is just sad, obviously Keating, she's starting, obviously then got Sandy McKay. If you're City, you're going to be thinking, are we going to rue those missions?
Good pressure put on once again by Manchester City, and a good save by Leipzig from Angeldal. Headed off the line as well. Angeldal trying to squeeze it back in and
playing. I would be absolutely losing my head at this, because it is another one direct ball from Keating straight down the middle, and it's really hard because Willie Kirk's playing free at the back against a front three. You know, you're asking a lot of that central defender, but Angeldal here, she should have done better on the...
Hasegawa. I think somehow is the key word, because Manchester City are letting them off the hook here. Here is Hasegawa to the key word, because Manchester City are letting them off the hook here. Here is Hasegawa to Shaw. The effort started at half-time, but there has been some outstanding individual defending from Leicester that we have to praise. They might almost get in here. Keating makes the save.
Here, Whelan, obviously too much time on the ball there. You've got to get out. You've got to get out quicker to the cross. You can't allow that to come in. But there, Tierney, obviously, she reads it that she wants to hit that first time too. No, it's a great...
Look at the space for Courtney Nevin now. And look how many blue shirts are in the penalty area. This is the attacking football that Willie Kirk talks about. Shannon O'Brien for Leicester as we approach half-time.
Yeah, last-ditch defending here. Chloe Kelly, you can't go steaming in like that. It's far too easy. Again, you're questioning Alana Kennedy, the centre-backs in there. Are you even aware, really, of where the Leicester players are? No, Lana Kennedy's too far.
Hasegawa.
I think what's good for City as well and what's exciting, started the game, but yeah, good recovery from Bot there.
And this player, of course, as you say as well, of course, the blow of losing Kira Walsh, she came in after that. She's not exactly the same player as Walsh, but still played a huge role in the centre of the park for Manchester City last season.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure whether there is another player like Walsh, and, you know, and you don't want Hasegawa to try and be someone that she's not, you know, but she's a great player. I've played with her at West Ham. Like I said, as a centre-back, you want a centre midfielder like that playing.
Here is Hasegawa. Sure. No more than they deserve into 3 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. Want to work short to Hasegawa. The space for Morgan. If she tries a drive, she will do.
Time and space there to pick it up. You know she's only got one thing on her mind.
By luck rather than judgment on occasion, but they finished the half well, the home side. Could have found an equaliser. Kiara Keating and the Manchester City defence doing enough there. Equally, Leicester City 0. Scored early on in the first half. It could have been a different story. We note, coming back out, there is the goal scorer, Chloe Kelly, but in terms of Shaw, I'm sure they'll have looked at her at half-time, Gilly.
Minutes and she's good as gold.
Yes, the next match for Manchester City. After WSL unbeaten run in their history, 4 games it stands at, stretching back to last season. But under threat here, how will they approach this second half? Will Willie Kirk and his side stick to their principles, a message that he has flicked on towards Shaw, cleared away by Sophie Howard. Hasegawa's touch will run to CJ Bott. Good strength from Bott, so tenacious Hasegawa, trying to get the ball off her, and Howard will clear away from Shaw and was caught there by Shaw. And Leicester City's turn to get a free kick.
I think it just shows the confidence as well that Leicester have, you know, with Bott touches, turns. She hasn't just gone long, but here obviously Shaw. I mean, it is late in the sense of her pressure, but it's not like she's left the foot in on Sophie Howard. I think she's hurt her, so can get up. Sophie Howard obviously still down at the moment.
Tierney dispossessed. Loose pass there again from Manchester City, straight to Peterman. And she saw the space. Here she goes, Shannon O'Brien. Corner to Leicester. Packed 6-yard box once again, and the header across is just about smuggled away. Rantala will send it back in. Keating's there again, doesn't gather cleanly. This is a real scramble for Manchester City. And in the end, they get the ball away. Bott will send it back in. Alexandri wins the head.
It's difficult. I mean, she's fortunate enough that she had defenders around her that was able to clear up.
Here is Hasegawa. Leicester City scenting an advantage. And they've won the ball with Shannon O'Brien. Tries to slide it through to Peterman and then commits the foul. Loose ball by Courtney Nevin, forward by Hasegawa. Shaw. Kelly. They're still playing with the 3 at the back. Leicester, nifty footwork herself. Shaw gingerly attempts to get back to her feet. She's still not quite there now, she is.
I also think as well,
Target woman, she is the star striker, but no sense in taking a chance with her, given that she's recently back from injury as well. Oh, lovely little bit of play by Kelly. O'Brien. Thibault. What they have done in this back 3, Gilly, is they've pushed Thibault more into midfield, haven't they? And Courtney Nevin is coming back a little bit more as Anna Kane muscled out a bit well by Alex Greenwood. Here is Hasegawa. It's a bit well by Alex Greenwood. Here is Hasegawa. Here is Ward. Fowler won't reach Hasegawa. Cannons off Ward. A little skip of frustration there from the Netherlands midfielder. Especially, but yeah, you see the confidence from O'Brien, but Morgan gets to her feet quickly and we play on. Hasegawa. Shaw. Trying to slide it through to Kelly. Thibault's there. Howard gets enough.
Nervous players out the 2.
Which, given the way the first half went, is rather inexplicable. Here is Hasegawa. Can they find some calm? Kelly. Orders there, won't reach it. She was caught there, CJ Boston.
I'd played in games before where I was left 1v1 really with a
deep delivery, claimed well by Leipzig, who looks to get Leicester away quickly and does so. Hasegawa just easing Kane away from that. But you can see the intent from Leicester. And they've kept themselves in this match. Manchester City looking to change that. Here goes Lauren Hemp. What a good run that was, beaten away by Leipzig, and that is a huge... So much credit to Lauren Hemp here, but Park has to stick that away.
Yeah, obviously Lauren Hemp here is 1v1. You know, you don't want that as a defender. But I don't know whether maybe she's on a right foot, which is obviously seen as Lauren Hemp's weaker foot, if there is such a thing. But Bunny Shaw was in the middle there. It was a great opening there, but just Park much to Reading.
Yeah, missed pretty much all of last season. That was a huge factor in them going down. Here goes Lauren Hemp. Delicate delivery, flicked away by Sophie Howard. She wasn't...
She's looking up, you know, she's got one thing on her mind. Sophie Howard, she has to get a touch on that because Khadija Shaw is right behind her. So it's a good defensive header.
The air. Howard dealt with it. And Godard's corner. Shaw is there again. Cleared away by Howard. Hasegawa, oh, good hit. Blocked away. Caught that beautifully, the Japan midfielder.
Balls that she's been playing haven't been turned over. Obviously here just watching this shot as well. Leipzig was gone. She was full across the goal, waiting to palm that one away.
Had lost all 5 WSL games against Manchester United before the last match. Managed to draw that.
Lauren Hemp, Bot, is that going to be a tasty tackle that happens there? But yeah, Bot is just committed to it and skips it past Lauren Hemp there. But it's great covering considering she's come from the complete opposite side of the pitch. She just skips it over Lauren Hemp's foot.
Yeah, always a risk, isn't it? When it is right, it's brilliant to see that, isn't it? When it's not, it's a yellow card.
Full game, but a striker who's fit there.
Let's see what she can do here. Khadija Shaw, good save by Leipzig. Real power behind that shot. And
back of the net, but Leipzig's done well there. There's two big saves here, but
as Nevin sends it back to Leipzig, didn't quite get the height on that clearance. Forward by Nevin once more, intelligently in field. Deanne Rose will put the pressure on Esme Morgan. Khadija Shaw, though, could be onto this. Again, it's well read by the Leicester defence that time back. And it has grown during the game. Alexandri's header away. Hasegawa. Hasegawa. Shaw. Almost short for Hasegawa. Kane not able to get in there. O'Brien is fouled. Hard as well for Shannon O'Brien.
With that decision there, it's hard. For me as a player, if that's a player in my team, I'm saying that's a great tackle. Coming up against 3 forward players of Manchester City's calibre, and she's done really well, and she's covered her teammates and helped them out. So for me, she's...
Manchester City into a bit of time wasting. They try and see out this game. Can they find the goal to finish it off? It's Khadija Shaw. It's Lauren Hemp. Not quite. She will collect. And she'll go for goal, and it's beaten away.
Pressure on Khadija Shaw either to make that pass be overhit, but see, it's a strong hand from Leipzig in the end too to tip it over.
At the expense of a corner to Manchester City, to Hannah Kane, and you can almost taste the disappointment from the home fans at the King Power. Here goes Jess Park for Manchester City, heading towards the corner again. There. Cleared away by Hasegawa. Shaw with the header goes,
just gets across the defender there well to win her team a free kick.
Manchester City head top of the WSL table They preserve their unbeaten start to the season at the expense of Leicester City's.
And they're running the ball to the corner.
Vicky, Gilly, thank you very much. I'm joined by Anita Asante and Farah Williams. Guys, Manchester City are walking, well, not walking.
Leicester will build on into, you know, the next performances, feeling that they can challenge the top three and play with that kind of...
Once Leicester understood the game plan and grew into the game and grew with that aggression, I think they actually stifled Manchester City's play as opposed to Manchester City not turning up. So I think if they can, because you can't take any slip-ups. We don't play enough games in the WSL to take that, to lose that many points. They've obviously would have felt like they dropped 2 points against Chelsea at home.